This last Neolithic settlement had a new feature. It was a shrine, a place of worship in a part of the hill which is extraordinary. It's visible from virtually the whole of the Severn Vale, from the Malverns on a clear day, from Cranham Wood, and from Birdlip, a neighbouring Neolithic settlement on the next promontory along. But from Crickley Hill itself, from the rest of the hill, it's virtually invisible. The natural rise of the high ground hides it from the settlement itself, so that whatever ritual was conducted here, it seems to have involved fire, would have been visible as a trail of smoke, perhaps for 5–10 miles around, but not from Crickley Hill itself, so that the population of the village might well have been excluded, except from the knowledge that something was being conducted by those who were part of the cult. After the destruction of the village, the place continued to be used as a place of worship. It was adapted and modified, finally reaching the form of a stone circle of a kind known from throughout the British Isles in the early Bronze Age, though we can't date the Crickley one exactly, except that it was after the end of the Neolithic. But at Crickley the stones are very, very small, so high, and had leading to them, in a way which is perhaps reminiscent of Stonehenge, was a processional way, now marked by a long mound clearly visible on the site, which has under the turf stone slabs hiding sacrificial offerings, animal bones, probably the bones of the animals sacrificed in the circle itself. Along here came the worshippers, priests perhaps, and back along it they went, perhaps until nearly the end of the second millennium BC, perhaps towards 1000 BC. Archaeology isn't only digging and sifting. We know something of the origin of the soil of the Long Mound from the snails it's produced. Not the big garden snails, which we're all used to, but snails the size of pinheads, or smaller, got from the soil by sifting, tweezers, and microscope work, which prefer a variety of different environments: shady woodland, grassland, or damp environments. All these are represented in the Long Mound at Crickley, implying that the soil wasn't just scraped up from the natural hollow around it, but brought from several hundred metres away, or perhaps even further, perhaps even carried up from the vale itself. Now, there's no structural advantage in that. A long mound is a long mound. The meaning of bringing the soil must be, in some sense, religious itself, or social. We can only guess at it. But it must have meant a great deal to those who built it. Even from here, on the processional way, you can't see the stone circle. It's hidden over the brow there. For about 1,000 years, the site seems to have been used for worship, beginning perhaps 2500 BC and ending sometime after 1500. Then even this fell into disuse and the hill was left quite abandoned.